Coffee sorted.
Got my coffee too.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I don't want you to think any less of me, but I'm actually drinking like a ginger tea. Don't laugh. I mean, it's like 9 at night. All right. So I didn't necessarily want to.
Where are you?
I'm in New Zealand. I'm in Christchurch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So what I've been here.
Yeah.
Like 13 months. So just over a year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm still not really figured out the old time difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I went to Australia, I suffered with the time difference a lot.
Yeah. Well, you went to Commonwealth, right?
Yeah.
Was that 2018?
Yeah. Yeah, 2018.
Oh shit.
Oh, so it seems like a long time ago now.
Yeah, innit? I remember. I knew. Do you know Bryony? I don't know her last name. I've known her for years, and I still don't know her last name. But Bryony, she went for Scotland. You might have ended up meeting.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think I know who you mean.
Proper sound lady. Anyway, I mean, people are gonna be wondering who the fuck you are. So, I'm gonna give you the floor.
Okay, just explain who I am.
I mean, who are you?
Fraer, 22 years old. I'm an Olympic weightlifter. Been competing in Olympic weightlifting since 2016, I think it was. Before getting into weightlifting, I did CrossFit for, I think it was a year or just over a year. And before that, I was a gymnast for 10 years. So I've always been into sports. And the sports that I've done, I've always competed in. So I've never just done a sport for like the fun of it. But yeah, that's it really.
Was it like a easy transition from like gymnastics to then CrossFit to then weightlifting? Was it like easy, or did you have to kind of like?
It was easy, but I don't know if it's just because I was 16. So at that age, you're still putting yourself out there to try new things. Like you're not at that age where you're a bit like scared to do something. Well, I weren't anyway. But from the gymnastics, because there's gymnastics movements in CrossFit, I could do all of that. The only thing I had to learn was the weightlifting movements. And obviously, like in gymnastics, we still did like conditioning and stuff. So it was still mini workouts, but it was more body weight stuff rather than with a barbell. Like I can remember in gymnastics, we did either body weight stuff or pairs stuff. So someone was standing on our shoulders and we'd do squats. It was stuff like that.
All right. So
we didn't actually have a gym.
What age did you do gymnastics like from and to?
I started gymnastics when I was 6 and then finished around 15, 16.
Oh shit. How often would you compete? Like I know like gymnastics, I know sweet FA about.
Okay.
I mean CrossFit gymnastics, I'll know a little bit about, but it's so much different.
Yeah, it is. How long did I compete in gymnastics?
And how often would you compete? Like,
I can't really remember. I think when I was younger, I competed quite a lot. Yeah. I did all types of gymnastics. So I did the 4-piece, floor, bars, beam and vault. And then I did a bit of acro at one point. Then I did tumbling. Then I did trampolining.
Fuck.
So the only bit of gymnastics I didn't do was the rhythmic gymnastics. So that's like with like the ribbons and the hoops and stuff. That's the only like part of gymnastics I didn't do.
The fancy dancing and stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know when I competed. Like I can't remember. I just remember training and then going to a competition, but couldn't tell you how many times a year that was.
Yeah, I'm like fascinated in like early specialization sports because like that and like I was like a swimmer like way back when. So I mean that's similar. And like
Yeah.
I remember fucking like having galas like every other weekend.
Yeah.
And you think back and you just like relating it back to lifting.
Mhm.
I wouldn't even want to get on a platform like twice a year. I'd be like, nah, you're good. Like it's gonna take too much energy, too much time. But like every other
Yeah.
weekend, you're just ragging yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I did compete more in gymnastics than I do for weightlifting. I know that. But recently, for like the past, I think it's about 2 years, I compete for a German team. I
Ah,
don't know if you've
cool.
heard of it. It's the
Bundesliga, right?
gymnasts. Yeah, the gymnasts have it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I compete for a team there, and so I'd done that for like a couple of years, and then last year, I know one of the French girls from just doing competitions, and she messaged me and said that they've got a setup like the Germans. It's not called the Bundesliga. I don't actually know what it is called, but it's set out like, so we're in teams basically, and then your teams go against other teams. So I actually compete for a French team as well now, so France and German team.
That's
So
pretty cool.
last year, the leagues start around about the same time. So it's from like October time all the way to like March the following year. So it's like through the winter basically. And there were one point where I competed in France. I had a weekend at home, competed in Germany, and then the weekend after that, I was back in France.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that month was just crazy for competitions. But obviously, the team competitions, you don't have to weigh in for them. And they're just a bit of fun, really. But the travel that month was just crazy. Like I felt like I was never at home.
Would you come back though, or would you stay?
No, I'd come back home and then go
Fuck
back
that.
again, because one competition was in France,
Yeah.
then one was in Germany, then one was back in France again. So it was a bit of a mad month.
And how would you like train in between that? Or did you just say, hey, I'm kind of just going to sack it off. I'm going to compete 3 times in 3 weeks and just like
Yeah.
sit down?
Well, that time last year, we didn't really have any competitions planned.
Yeah.
And was it last year? Yeah, I think it was. I didn't go for my spot at European seniors because I wanted to concentrate on other competitions that year. So that time last year was just a time where it's good to go to different countries and see what they train and compete like. So I just kind of took it as, I've got this time to have fun with my weightlifting. If there's a chance that I could lift big numbers on this certain weekend, then I might as well just give it a go. And the fact that you didn't have to weigh in, I kind of was just eating how I normally eat as well.
I mean, that's basically like 3/4 of the stress, right? It's trying to hit your fucking weigh in.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If it would have had to weigh in, I probably wouldn't have signed for both teams that year. But the fact that I don't have to weigh in, it just goes on body weight to what you lift, basically.
And Wilkes.
Yeah.
Or is Wilkes or Sinclair? Which one's
Sinclair?
Sinclair?
Yeah.
That's it. Wilkes the powerlifting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's speaking to my brother too much. He's a powerlifter. Weird people like to bench press.
Yeah.
And deadlift. It's just like a failed clean, right?
Yeah. That's how you fail a clean.
Yeah, just pick it up and not supposed to get underneath that. So what category do you compete in?
55 kilo.
Under 55, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always been in that one, or have you like had a dabble around, or?
No. So the weight class has changed actually. I think it was 2 years ago. So we had the Commonwealth, and then so we finished that year, and then I think going into 2019, the weight class has changed. So I did actually used to compete at 53 kilos.
Fuck.
So instead of like dropping down to the 49s, I thought I'll just go up to the 55s. I'm not dropping down.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 2 kilos.
It is only 2 kilos, but the way, like, I used to sit at like 56 anyway. So going to the 55s, I didn't really have to change anything. Just like clean my eating up a little bit.
Yeah. Stop eating like a retard.
Yeah, but now I am a 55 lifter. I sit at like 57.
Yeah.
So my weight class has gone up, but also I've gone up as well.
Hey, it's gains, you know.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
So what do you do? Like I had a New Zealand powerlifter on here maybe like 3 weeks ago, and her cutting regime was hilarious.
Really?
It's basically just water load and then jump in the sauna, and I think she's an absolute legend for it. But I could not do it. I could
No
not do
way.
it. So like, what do you do to? I mean, you only have 2 kilos to lose. I think Hema had 4. Oh, I can't really remember. Maybe about 4 kilos. But
Yeah,
how do you lose it?
You only say 2 kilos, but you also have to remember I am small anyway.
Yeah,
So 2 kilos feels like losing an arm.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like 2 kilos from 55 or 57 is like is a lot.
Yeah. So I actually work with a nutritionist, so they kind of deal with it all, tell me what to do, and I just do it.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, so it is quite easy, and every single competition I've had working with them, I've always made weight, like without any worries. There was a competition last year that I went to, and so the day we flew out was like 2 or 3 days before I competed. And I said to them, I'd like to be 55 kilos the day I fly out, just because sometimes you can hold a bit of water weight from flying. So if I am weighing 55, if I end up holding that water weight from the flight, it doesn't really matter. I can put them few grams on, and then when I get to where I'm going, I can just get them off. But the flight actually did the opposite thing. I ended up losing 0.5 of a kilo. So the after we got there, the morning after, I woke up and I was like 54.5, and I like messaged my nutritionist. I was like, what do I do? Does this mean I can eat?
Can I eat breakfast?
Yeah. So like the day before I competed, the night before, I usually just have protein yogurt and granola, just a little bit something. It's not too heavy, but it's getting some calories in. Like the night before, I had like a burger and everything. I was like, I need to do this more often.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
How did your body feel when like you got off the plane to Australia? Like I remember fucking getting here, right? I mean, I had a mad journey anyway, but I remember getting here and I was wrecked for like 6-7 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I was fucked.
I think because I was so excited just to be there, like my body didn't really take a hit from it. The only thing that messed up was my sleep. It took about a week for me to actually wake up at like a normal time. The first night I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then 5 o'clock, and it got to like 5 o'clock and I was like awake. And because obviously we're in a weight class sport, before we all went down for breakfast, we had to weigh in. So I was like sat on my bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, waiting for like the 7 o'clock weigh-in, starving, not wanting to drink, not wanting to eat anything, because I'd still got to stand on the scales in front of my coaches. But it did take about a week to actually wake up at a normal time. But we flew out like 2 weeks before, so we went on like a training camp for 2 weeks, and then we went into the games village. So that, I think that was the best thing we could have done, because we had that week to kind of get over the jet lag. Then we had a week of like really good training, and then it was time to like get ready to compete anyway. So I'm glad they said we could go out like 2 weeks before.
Yeah. Did you get to stay afterwards?
Yeah, so my mum and stepdad flew out to watch me.
Cool.
And then, so it was in Gold Coast, and we had like a few days in Sydney as well. So we like flew over to Sydney and then flew back to Gold Coast so we could get the flight home again. So it was nice to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Like end it on a relaxed note rather than just going for business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Because when you compete at the Commonwealth, Team England like pay for your flights. So I had to go back on like a completely different plane to what my mum and my stepdad went home on.
Yeah.
So I was like spending all these hours just on my own on a plane.
It's like
I'm just traveling halfway across the world on my own. Like, okay.
Yeah, why not? Just not take one of those melatonin. Just got to sleep.
Yeah.
Wake up in Heathrow or something. In my airport.
Yeah.
What about home? Like, because home's fucked now. Like with obviously lockdown 2.0. We didn't do it right first time, so we got to lock it down again.
Yeah.
What's that like affect? You got a garage gym, right?
Yeah. So in 2019, I'd got some savings, and I was at a time where I weren't really like enjoying being at the gym. So I'd just got back from European under 23s. And I was like, I didn't really want to go to the gym. So I was like, I've got these savings, might as well do something with them. So someone had already sent me out a barbell. So all I had to really do was like sort out some floor mats and get some plates. Plates are so expensive.
Yeah, you're telling me, man.
Like, I don't know how people are buying the gym equipment now with how much, like, they were expensive anyway, and now they've added like 100 more pounds on. But so I actually invested in them. So when we went into the lockdown, I was like, oh well, it's not a gym, but at least I've got a barbell and plates, so I can do some training.
That's what weightlifters need, right? A barbell and plates.
Yeah, you can kind of work around that. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then going into the second lockdown, like for me, nothing's really changed. Like I work from home anyway, so nothing's really changed for me. It just feels weird. Like
is it
you know
hard
you
to
can
train?
go. Yeah.
Yeah, motivation and that.
Yeah, it's definitely harder to train now than it was in the first lockdown, because in the first lockdown it was like kind of cool and fun to train at home, like it was something different. And it was warm, so like it was nice to train. It's absolutely freezing now, so just even like warming up to get ready to train, you're like, and like my garage is like a 2-second walk, so it's like I could just come back and like get nice and warm.
Yeah, lie down on the couch again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Do you usually train with people?
Not really, because there's no one really in Doncaster that trains weightlifting. Like there's CrossFit boxes, but no one trains like specific weightlifting. My boyfriend trains in powerlifting, so like even though he is like still lifting weights, it's not weightlifting.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, it's a good little mix, and especially if you've got to go like heavy squats or some shit. That definitely helps. But yeah, like weightlifters are like the weird cousin that kind of do something like wacky with the barbell. Slam it on the floor.
No one knows what it actually is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck was that? Oh, that's called a snatch. Yeah. It's called a what now? And then they just, sit
trying
down.
To explain it.
Yeah. You've got to clean and then you've just got to jerk. It's like, excuse me? So yeah, it's, I mean, few and far between, but once you find people that enjoy just perfecting a craft.
I'm quite good at self-motivation as well, so even if I don't really want to be there, I can still get a training session done. The only thing that I do struggle with is if I'm having a bad day, I'll literally just stop training and go home. Like I haven't got that mental barrier to think, okay, I'm having a bad session, just get it done and you've done for the day. I'll literally just be like, I'm done. I'm going home.
How do you think that affects you, if at all?
It does, because I think if I trained with my coach and I was having a bad day, I'd still try and finish the training session because my coach is there watching. But I think not having him there, I'm just like, well, I'm having a bad day anyway, so what's the point? And it does affect the rest of the day for me.
Is that more psychological?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not like I can't do the moves. There's just some, like, if you've ever done weightlifting, you'll know, like, there's some days you can snatch 90%, and then there's other days where you can't even snatch 30%, and you're like, what? Why am I doing this? But it's just the sport. It's not the person. It's just the sport that you're in.
I mean, I think the best quote I've ever heard about weightlifting is like, you'll get good at weightlifting when you finally realize you'll always be shit at weightlifting. And I'm like, all right, yeah, fair enough.
That's so true.
I mean, it's true, isn't it?
True. Yeah.
You'll never be good at it. There's always another kilo. No one's Lasher apart from Lasher.
Yeah.
Although, did you see his 222?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Disgusting.
It's mad.
There's at least 230 in him.
There is, yeah, but I'm not the biggest fan of him, to be fair. Like, he can lift big weights, but he's also been banned from the sport. So
yeah, 100%. But that's the problem, right? Because everyone wants to go see freak shows, yet they kind of just push it to the side of, oh, he's steroids, blah blah blah, PEDs. Oh, it's fine, but we just want to see big lifts.
We just want to, and that's
So, what's your point of view from an athlete's perspective?
I think if you're in a tested sport, just don't do it. Like, it that simple, really. If you're in an untested sport, feel free, go do what you want. Like, I've got nothing against it, but when it comes into my sport, that's when I have opinions on it. Like, powerlifting has a tested and untested sport. So in powerlifting, if there was someone that was in a tested federation that then got caught, I'd be like, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Just go into the untested one. Yeah. I think because weightlifting doesn't have that, it is harder for people like to watch the sport, because you can tell which weight classes have the doping in it and which ones don't really have it. And obviously people like to watch the bigger lifts, so they're gonna watch the people who are doping or not. They are doping.
Well, I mean, it's clear, right? Everyone fucking knows it. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. Everyone fucking knows it. So, I mean, if you get caught and you hold your hands up and say, yeah, okay, I did X, Y, and Z, all right, fair fucks, like, you were honest about it. You were the honest thief. But it's when they're like, oh no, it was in my protein powder, or I ate some grass-fed beef, or I kissed my missus and she's on testosterone pills.
It was in my protein powder, which you can't even take through protein powder.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's incredible. Like, I'll sit back and read it and I'll be like, oh, that's my entertainment done for the day. You know what I mean? But do you think having a tested and an untested federation is the way to go
for weightlifting?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think if that ever did happen, the untested side would just be like not thrown out, but it wouldn't be a most popular sport.
It's hard though, right? Because it's an Olympic sport and powerlifting isn't.
Yeah, exactly. I think if it did turn out to be a tested and untested, the Olympics would just completely chuck it out.
Yeah, which
like,
is
we're already going to get thrown out. So
yeah. What the fuck's going on with the IWF? Like, I had a good mate on the other week and we had a good chat about it. And like, I think the UK are like about 50 years behind America, Australia, even the likes of here in New Zealand. Like, of the fact of like academies and plowing money into academy and getting kids into sport and different things. Like I thought like creating like leisure centers, for example, but having weightlifting there and then bringing in the likes of yourselves of actual athletes at the moment to coach and kind of bring up the next generation and blah, 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 blah. I think that would be fucking mega.
Yeah, definitely. I think they would, and there is things in place that British weightlifting are doing to kind of like help with that and get the sport a bit more well known. Because I'll speak to people and like they think I do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Like
how much you bench?
Standing. Yeah. How much? Yeah. I don't know. But I think the biggest thing is the funding side to it. Like weightlifting has nothing in the UK. Like we don't. If we end up getting sponsorship, it's off of something completely out of weightlifting.
But you look at that. Sorry, go.
It is hard to get the sponsorship because we're not producing the medals because we're going up against countries that are just like we can't compete against them because they're taking stuff. But then if we don't get the funding, we can't train full time to try and beat these people. It's hard.
From like an S&C standpoint, like it's really interesting because you look at any other sport, right? And you mainly like the countries that I mentioned, like Australia, America, and here, like any other sport, they incorporate weightlifting into their strength and conditioning. There's a fucking reason for that. So I don't understand why kids aren't doing one, gymnastics, two, weightlifting, running. You know what I mean? Like
it's because there's this thing, and well, it's obviously mostly in the UK where kids shouldn't be lifting weights. They shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. And well, why not? You're getting them to run around a football pitch, which is destroying the joints more than weightlifting ever going to.
Yeah, I mean, look at ruggers, for example.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get kids running into each other, headbutting each other at full pelt, and they're like, oh, that's all right. You know, they're running after an egg-shaped ball.
Damage your brain, that's fine. But don't lift a barbell. Oh, my gosh, don't do that. It's the worst thing that could happen to you.
Oh,
Wait till you're this age. But I don't
breaking
understand.
stereotypes, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard, and I don't know if it's going to be a generational thing or it's going to take, like, one thing and everyone's just going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, well, maybe we'll do that, you know?
Yeah. I have no idea. I do think it does need changing though, because even I'll speak to people now and they you have to explain what weightlifting is to them. And with every other sport, you can just say what sport it is and they'll be like, oh yeah, I know that.
But like what sport teaches like movement, coordination, ability, body awareness, all in one? It's going to be weightlifting.
Yeah.
So even if you just get them doing it with a PVC fucking pipe.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No. But I think gymnastics is really good. Like if obviously if you can't get your kids straight into weightlifting, put them into gymnastics and slowly transfer them over to the weightlifting when you feel that it's the right time. Because from gymnastics, like all them things that you just mentioned, I felt that I learned through gymnastics.
Yeah, for sure.
Which has now helped me with weightlifting. So I think that's the best thing. If like obviously you don't want your kids doing weightlifting, put them into gymnastics, and it's kind of like the same thing, but you just ain't got a barbell there.
Yeah, true. I mean, it all starts with the same thing. Like they go hand in hand. Like coaching ollie lifting and then going over and coaching gymnastics. Like you're like, oh, okay, this is pretty goddamn similar.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you split it all back. That also, like, you're doing your PT course now, right?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah. It's going well. It's all online, so you can kind of just do it when you have the time to do it.
Yeah.
So I did my what was it called? Sport and exercise science. I did that a few years ago. So most of the things that I'm going through on the PT course right now kind of clash with the sport and exercise science that I did. It's just remembering it because that seems like forever ago now.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying it, and I think once I've got the qualification, I will use it. Maybe not straight away, but I have, like, for the past year, I have wanted my level 3 PT. I've just never got round to doing it. And then obviously COVID happened, and it was like, well, I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ideal though. It's online. Like that's how I did mine.
Yeah.
I don't know how when I did mine, but I did mine online. It was much easier. You can kind of crack through it as quick or as slow as you want.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Have you always like seen yourself as going down the route of being a coach, or did it kind of just been like kind of found you?
Now I still don't even know what I'm doing.
No one does.
No one does. I'm kind of just pretending I know.
Yeah, I mean that's what coaching is.
Yeah, so like when I was younger, I wanted to go to the Olympics for gymnastics, and then obviously I kind of at a certain age kind of knew that weren't going to happen. So then I wanted to be a gymnastics coach because I really like gymnastics, like I still do. So I got some gymnastics qualifications and became a coach. And then that kind of went into the CrossFit. So I was like, oh, I want to go to the CrossFit Games. And then that kind of went into the weightlifting. So now I want to go to the Olympics as a weightlifter, which doing weightlifting kind of then not like pushed me into being a weightlifting coach, but the amount of like response that I get from people asking if I do any programs or if I've got any tips or anything, I was like, well, might as well just do a bit of coaching on the side of my training because it's going to help me with my actual training as well. And then obviously when the PT course came about, I was like, well, I might as well get that because it's just another qualification I've got behind me. So yeah, I think that's what I'm doing.
I mean, fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I do know, like, I do want to carry on my coaching for a good few years and then maybe transfer that into some PT work as well.
Oh, that's cool. Did that when people asking, I think that's going to be all over like social media.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Because like numbers on a screen, right, are exactly that. The numbers on a fucking screen. But like if practically most of them are always messaging you, like that kind of becomes a reality. And how the hell does that not like flood your brain and you just been like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, as in like for coaching.
Yeah, and like just in general, like I've seen, I don't know, some people thrive off it. Obviously the extroverts love all that external attention and kind of putting out. But like it can get a bit OTT sometimes.
There's like good and bad parts to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So like the good parts are like you meet so many people and you never know what that could lead to. Through social media. So I got loads of friends that I'm with over social media, but never actually met them in real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And most of them are weightlifters or CrossFitters. And with the coaching side, so I started my weightlifting coaching towards the end of the first lockdown, so like in July time. And since then, I've got people that I'm coaching in America, in Germany, in France, in the Netherlands. So in the space of 3-4 months, my coaching's already like international, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is good because then it gets my name out there a little bit more without me actually doing that much. It's them that have come to me. So like I haven't been to anyone and be like, oh, do you want coaching? The people have always come to me. The bit that does annoy me a little bit is people will message asking for coaching tips. And I'm all up for giving tips, but I'm then not going to explain myself. Like, go over to my coaching page if you want that.
Yeah.
Like I'd never, like, I don't know if it's just the person I am, but I would never ask someone for a tip and then like try and get them to explain anything. Like, just take the tip that they've given you and go off that. Like, I don't know if that's just me as a person or
no,
I don't know.
'cause, like, I find it's a bit weird, right? Say, for example, you don't know anyone, right? And you just flick them a message and be like, hey, this is my lift. Like, what do you think? I think just that as a snippet is a fucking weird exchange.
Honestly, like, and the fact that they've not even asked to send the video,
Yeah,
they've just
yeah.
done it. I don't really know what to do with it. Like,
It's like, hi, my name's Fraer. Like, pleased to meet you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
and they get really like sort of, they think about themselves all the time, right? And
yeah.
I don't know how many people will flick you a message and be like, oh, okay, I've had this brilliant idea. I'm going to send this lady a message. No one else has had this idea. All right, I'm just going to flick it and I'm going to get this like one-to-one coaching from her. And it's like, mate,
You definitely not.
there's like been 18,000 more people before you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I don't know. I just find it a little bit like rude. Like, I've like built myself up, and the knowledge that I know has come from like my coaches and the people that I've been around. So why should I then go and like tell someone else that information?
yeah.
Like, if you want to know my opinion, this is my training prices.
Yeah. I mean,
But then they don't want that.
no, of course
they
not.
don't want that. But
I mean, they want you
yeah.
to do your job for free, right?
Yeah.
Because
I'm an unfunded athlete now.
yeah, exactly. Like coaching's a hobby, right? You get to coach me for free. Oh, fuck.
No thanks.
Amount of times I've heard that. If I had a penny every time I heard that, I'd have been retired by now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, it's I don't know. It's a weird one because, I mean, coaching is a profession, but it's hard to professionalize it because there's so many different standards.
Yeah, and I don't want to come across as, oh, she won't tell anyone anything about weightlifting. But then there's the other side of, well, I've put time and effort into knowing the stuff that I know. Like, you do the same.
Nah, I don't think you come across that way. What I'd say is like people forget the human in humanity through social media.
Yeah, 100%.
And they just kind of see it as a page, as a lift, as whatever, rather than as a person with feelings, with a family.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
definitely. You see in the comments I get.
Wow, I can only fucking imagine. You know what I mean? Like
Some people.
It's crazy. I don't understand.
No, me
like,
either.
And they're quite imaginative. I mean,
yeah.
What happened to the old school? You're a dickhead. You know what I mean? It's like now they're
I'd
going
rather you just say that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Like, you've taken the time to express that you think I'm a dickhead. Thank you.
And that's the thing. So this is what people forget. Like, the more people hate, it is hate on my like videos or pictures, the more exposure my page actually gets. So the more comments, the more likes, the more shares, the more people see my stuff. So all you're doing is creating me more followers, more opportunities, more like maybe even business kind of things. So really, you can hate on it all you want, but I'm going to get the benefits from it.
Exactly. And it's like it comes down to like whether you allow that to go any further than what it is. It's just like pixels on a screen.
I won't like, there is some comments that I just leave, like, okay, I ain't even got time of day for that. But when there is comments that I don't feel that are really needed at all, or that are going against like girls in lifting, or oh, you shouldn't be lifting that, or it's going to do this to you, like, that's where I draw the line with it, because I don't think there's any need at all for that, because that's bullying basically. If it's just something stupid, like you said, like calling names, go ahead and do that, because I ain't really got time for that. But when it goes into something deeper than that, that's where I'll draw the line with it and actually respond back to them. Or if they're actually commenting on my technique, like well, my coach is like a GB weightlifting coach, so I think he'll tell me if my technique's off.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not heavy enough. It's like it's a deload week. Yeah, it's not heavy enough. All right. What do you snatch? What's a snatch? Like fucking brilliant. No, that's interesting when you say about like girls lifting. Like I just recently got my lady into some lifting. And never lifted before. Was a dancer. So extremely mobile, not as stable as she needs to be. Anyway, I'm like, when people start, anyway, I put them on. They basically power lift.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, you're gonna do blah blah blah. And the nature of like the gym she was training out of, there's a lot of people. It's more like a commercial gym, right? Yeah. And like I knew it from a lad's perspective. Some lads are like, oh, women shouldn't be lifting weights. Or I'm like, well, they're fucking cunts anyway. But we know that. They're more of the boys and the men. But like, is pose a question of like, she gets a lot of sort of dirty looks, sort of that sort of like comments from fellow ladies, and that I like. I obviously oblivious to. I'm a bloke, so like, is that something that you've sort of?
Yep, all the time.
Why? So what?
I don't know. I don't really notice it now because I just couldn't care less. Like I don't actually care what people think of me anymore. But I think so when I first started weightlifting, I was actually in like a CrossFit environment. So everyone was like teamies, everyone supported everyone. So I've kind of gone from that. Then I did actually train in a commercial gym at the start of this year. And that's when I first started noticing it. Obviously, like over social media, you get it anyway. But when you actually see it in person, it's a little bit different. And you do get the girls that, like, I had girls come up to me and say, oh, can you show me how to, not weightlifting like this, when I was doing like a bit of bodybuilding, like, oh, can you show me how to do that, because I'd love to look like you. So that was really nice. But then you did get the other ones that were just like, they're obviously just there for the attention, and because they see you actually training, they don't know how to react, or they don't know how to feel about it. So that's when they do like start giving you the dirty looks. But I think just from having all the support that I had at the start of my lifting, I've kind of realized that there is going to be people out there that don't agree with what you're doing, and that's fine, because really you don't really agree what they're doing, but you just don't show it like they do.
Yeah, you're just not a prick.
Yeah. There is, like I'll even get comments like of girls saying, oh, I'd never want legs like yours, but well done. Like, what? It's like such a backhanded compliment. Why? What's the need? But I don't know. I think it is still out there that girls shouldn't be lifting, and girls shouldn't have muscle and stuff. And I think it will always be there. So I don't think it's ever going to go. But I think the more people realise that actually girls having muscle is a good thing, because it shows that they're strong, they can protect themselves, that it's a good thing.
I'm actually fascinated of like the level. I think in the next 10 years, but I'll say 20 years just to be safe, the level of like women's sport, where it's going to go. I think it's going to close the gap between men's sport to like
definitely. Well,
seriously close.
In the UK, there's more female weightlifters than there is male weightlifters.
Yeah.
So that's a good start anyway. I think it's just trying to not change people's mindset, but just educating them more on, actually, if you do a bicep curl, you're not going to have biceps the size of a guy's, because it don't work like that.
Yeah.
Like if you go up a weight in the gym, you're not all of a sudden going to look like a female bodybuilder. Yeah. Like, it just, people, I don't know, they want to hate on it, but they also don't want educating on it as well.
Well,
which
ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah. And that's the bit that is hard to get around. And if someone's not going to listen, there's no point even wasting your time trying to explain to them, because I've tried many of times and gets you nowhere. So
yeah, I mean, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yeah, just leave people to do what they want.
Yeah, for sure. What what advice would you give to young ladies who are like thinking about going to the gym? Not necessarily weightlifting, just the gym in general.
Just the gym. Yeah.
What would you give them? What would you say?
Go with someone that you feel confident going with.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't feel confident, if you feel confident going by yourself, but you're someone that doesn't really know how to train, instead of going on YouTube and seeing all these booty band workouts, go and get a personal trainer who maybe because I don't know, this is hard, and not being like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Freedom of speech, mate. You say what you want.
Personal trainers, like when I did my fitness instructing, I got told by the person who was actually taking the course that I squat and deadlift wrong. And like, I weren't really in a place to say, oh, well, I'm not, because she was actually taking the course. So I didn't want to fail just because the tutor didn't like me. But I think some PTs don't have that open mind to anything other than they've actually learned. But it's a good start of getting into the gym, because they know the gym, they know the people that are in the gym, and they know where all the equipment is. They can show you how it's all done. So I think them two are really good points to start going. And this is like easier said than done, because obviously some girls aren't confident at all. But if you go into the gym confident, that will not like threaten the guys, but it'll show them that, oh no, she is actually here to train. She is actually here because she wants to, I don't know, it's either like a goal, or she wants to look a bit better, she wants to get stronger. And I think that the more girls do that, the easier it will be for guys to actually understand that girls are there to train, like, because they want to.
Yeah. And I tell you this for a fact, and you can put me on record, like you go into a gym, right, and you see a lady, whatever age, whatever size, whatever height, whatever the fuck she's doing, but she's literally breaking herself. Like, she's kicking her own ass, putting herself through the ringer. Every bloke is looking at that and taking some motivation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, even if it's like, oh, you know, you're so much further than where the ladies are. It's like a heavily overweight lady. She's just like trying to do some crunches or burpees or whatever, walking on the treadmill, but she's fucking kicking ass. You'll go in and just think, yeah, today is a go day.
Yeah. And I think you always have to remember, like, the more guys are probably thinking, wow, she's doing really well, than, oh, she shouldn't be here. You're always going to get the ones that think, oh, she shouldn't be here, but you're always going to get that from girls anyway. So I think just going in and being confident, and even if you want to go in with your headphones in so you can't even talk to anyone, like, that's probably the best thing to do, because in commercial gyms you'll get anyone talking to you. Like, I can remember I went into one and I was doing some squats, and I was only warming up, and this guy came over to me and was like, oh my god, do you need a spot? Let me know if you need a spot. I'm like, I'm warming up. He was like, you're warming up on that? Are you sure? Are you sure you can do it? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I can do it. He was like, okay, well, if you go in heavier, let me know. I was like, no, I'm not going to let you know. But, and to be fair, I do feel bad sometimes. Not feel bad, but it makes me laugh a little bit, because guys in the gym think, oh, they're all big and hard, they can lift whatever weight. So I was actually training in the gym, and there was 2 squat racks next to each other, and there was a guy on the squat rack, like on this side, on the right side, and I was on the left side. And I don't know if he was warming up or whatever, and he got to his working set, and I knew it was his working set. It weren't his warm-up weights, because he'd been there forever. And I actually put like 20 kilo more on. and he like watched one set, unloaded his bar and walked off.
Nice.
And like that is nice, but then I don't want to be saying like I don't want to come across as like the guy in the gym. Do you know what I mean? So like girls see guys like hating on them, but I don't want guys to see that I'm hating on them but I'm not. I'm just doing what I'm doing on my training program. It's not my fault. You can't lift that.
Yeah. I mean, it goes both ways, right? Like, because you can't be a knob. You can't be like, oh, look at me, like Billy Big Bollocks on the block, right? However, you can also take whatever other people are doing personally.
No, exactly. And I think that's what people do. And I think that's the biggest thing in gyms. So like guys will do it to guys. They'll see someone benching and they'll be like, oh, that's not much weight. But you don't know if he's on like a deload or you don't know if he's still warming up.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to go into a gym, you're in the gym to do what you're doing. Yeah. Not look around at what anyone else is doing. No one actually cares what you're doing. So you shouldn't be looking at who's looking at you training.
Have you got a pet peeve in a gym, in any gym, whether it's commercial or like a backyard gym or whatever?
I think everyone's the same, just like leaving plates about. Like, it's not fair because, like, yeah, you finish with the squat rack and I can squat that, but I don't want to be unloading your bar. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And also, he's like 6'5", and you can't reach the bar.
Can't reach it, and if there's like a 20-kilo plate and I'm having to like jump for it, like it's not fair. And obviously, like there is guys and girls in the gym that maybe can't even squat with the bar. Yeah. So even if you just unload it and the bar's there for them, then they'll feel more comfortable going to it rather than if it's stacked with weights. Because if I saw a barbell that had weights on it, I'd still think someone's using it. So there's that, and then obviously there is like the dirty looks and stuff. There's no need for it. Like, what have I ever done to anyone for a dirty look?
Fucking intimidated by strength, you know what I mean? Like, it's that whole thing of them taking it personally by you just doing you.
Yeah, there was someone in the gym as well, and they went to the manager and they was like, "Is she allowed to drop them weights from that high?" Yeah, she's on the platform. Like, leave me alone.
My pet peeve is the mirrors. I fucking hate the mirrors. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't get me started.
That's why CrossFit boxes are good, because they don't have any.
Exactly. And then it all fabricates everything, right? Without the mirror, you become less so egotistic. You care about the person next to you a bit more, and it helps without having headphones in and shit. Yeah. And then you concentrate on what you can do rather than like what you look like. And the weirdest thing in the world, right, is walking past in a gym and seeing a bloke bicep curl staring himself in the eye. Like,
or like a row from the side, and then he turns his head and looks at what he's doing. And like, one, don't do that because your spine's gonna go, and two, why are you still looking in the mirror? What's even worse is if you're having a conversation with them and you can see the eyes looking behind you where the mirror is.
Mate, you're not that pretty. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, I'll always doubt them on it as well. Like, looking at yourself.
Nice.
Like, my eyes are here. Why are you looking at yourself in the mirror?
Oh, that's
just walk off, and they won't even notice that you're gone.
Like, it's the vanity in a gym is hilarious.
It makes you cringe.
It makes me laugh, and I'm supposed to be coaching in it. You know what I mean? So professional or not, I'm still in hysterics. But in anywhere else, if you stare yourself out in the eye or like check yourself out or whatever, like, people are going to start turning heads and be like,
definitely.
Can you behave?
What you doing? Yeah.
But anyway, that's weird. All right. I've got some questions. I keep saying to people they're quick fire questions, but I like asking deep questions, so they're never quick fire. So some of them are like kind of quick fires, other ones are a little bit deeper. All right. First one, favorite movement?
Clean and jerk.
Clean and jerk?
Yeah. Clean. I just Nice. I'm quite good at jerking. So like jerking from the stands, I can jerk more than I can clean. So really, if I clean it, I can always, I say that, touch wood. I can always get it above head anyway. Yeah.
You were playing with squat jerks for a while, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. My coach actually programmed them.
Yeah.
Don't know what we're going through his head.
I mean, it's a
But
great
I'm quite good at them.
What did you do the other week? 105?
105, yeah.
Fuck off.
Which my best jerk is 114. So it's like 10 kilos off my my normal jerk anyway. So I don't think that's quite bad actually.
Oh, that's disgusting. 105 squat jerk at 55 kegs.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on. What? I can't even read my own writing. Oh, favorite music.
Oh, this is so cringe. I like the throwback party tunes. Like I'll get on my videos on Instagram, I'll even get some people messaging like, you're having a bad day because you've got that kind of music on. Or I'll have people saying, oh my God, what playlist is this?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Nah, you had fuck on one of the ones that you posted recently. Was it Busted?
Yeah.
Yeah. That I rate. That I was like, all right, yeah.
Honestly, Busted and McFly are like my favorite people. And a few years ago, they actually like got together and did like a tour. And I went to go see them straight away. Like that kind of music, I love it. Like N-dubs, anything like that.
Do you train to that too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Holy fuck! Nah, I've got to train to something hyped, you know.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't mind what I'm listening to when I'm training. It can't be heavy metal and it can't be like it's not house music, but it's something like house music. You know, where it's just like the same beat over and over and over
Fucking
again.
EDM.
I don't something like
electronic dance music. I
Yeah.
can't stand it, mate.
Like it hurts my head. And I don't know why. And when it's the same beat over and over again and there's like no lyrics to it, I'm like, how does anyone even listen to this?
I mean, they love it over here.
Really?
Like, and I don't get it. Like, if it's not got singing, to me, it's not a song.
Yeah, exactly. And you want something you can sing along to.
Yeah, you know, in the car, in the shower.
Yeah.
What, jerking 105? What that's the fucking disgusting. 55 kegs, 105. Nah, that's minging. Least favorite movement?
Snatch.
Oh, what?
Hate it, like with passion.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't relate. Like, snatching a back squat is the best session ever.
No, that's like the worst session ever.
Nah, fuck no. Fuck no. Are you a morning or a night person?
Morning. Oh my God, I'm in bed by like 9 o'clock.
Is that because you're literally fucked, or is that because you gotta get you sleeping?
Probably both.
I mean, it happens when you start training. Like,
Yeah.
how long does your sessions take?
Usually I can get them done in like an hour and a half, but like because of COVID, like being in the gyms, you have to like wipe everything down, so it is literally taking like over 2 hours. But without doing that, probably an hour and a half. It's always under 2 hours.
Do you have intra workout snacks?
Not really, because I think if I did, I'd concentrate too much on the snacks and not the training.
It's true, it's a problem.
In competition, though, I do take a packet of jellies in the warm-up area with me.
Nice. Are they the Haribos?
Anything, any jellies.
Fuck, I miss Haribos. Like they're expensive over here, like because they're imported.
Are they? Yeah.
Like, you can't exactly like nip down Asda and get like a 50 pence like piece of shit bag of sweets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or penny sweets. If you were to go for a big lift, would you be like the Kill Cucumber, a calm and collective, or would you be the hype up sort of lady who's like fucking screaming, slapping shit?
No, just the cool person. Like when I do my maxes, I'll always get a coach to like slap my legs.
Yeah.
But no, I'll just get it done.
See, I fucking love like strength spots, whether it's strongman, weightlifting, powerlifting, because you get these like badass ladies come in, right? And then they just get the shit slapped out of them. before they get on the platform and then just smash a big lift. And like, if people don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
like you just look at their face and it's comical.
I can't remember where she's from. It's a weightlifter. I think she's a 71 kilo lifter. I can't remember where she's from. Venezuela, maybe, something like that. And she looks like she's talking to the devil. A coach is like, slap a leg, slap a bum. She walks onto the platform and she's like moving her hands about, and she's like, just got this. She talks to herself like she'll.
Yeah.
It don't matter. No, it don't matter who's there. It's like she's like cursing the barbell.
Yeah.
And just like saying like, I'm gonna lift this no matter what. And then she like does this biggest scream ever, and then she lifts it, and it's so good to watch. Like, she's probably my favorite lifter. I don't even know her name or where she's from, but to watch, she's my favorite lifter. She's amazing.
I mean, like, it's like she's possessed, right?
Yeah, it's when she walks back into the warm-up area, she's fine. She's just like a normal person. As soon as she steps up onto the platform, it's like something's taken over her body. It's amazing.
I wonder if like she's done like some sort of like, was it psychosis or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Because like Eddie R, when he pulled the 500, would like squeeze like the bit of flesh between like your index finger and your thumb. Like he'd squeeze that, he'd pinch that, and it basically like he'd put himself like he was hypnotized to do whatever.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it, but it kind of like triggered something.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's kind of like her ritual.
Maybe.
That's,
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Favorite food?
Donuts.
Yeah.
Easy question.
So, what's your go-to donut? Are you like a boring and just go like glazed, or do you just go all out?
Literally any. I could, if someone brought me a box of donuts, I wouldn't even
touch the sides.
Like, yeah. I like more sweeter things than, like, I know chocolate's sweet, but in my mind, chocolate is not sweet because of how much I like sweet stuff. So if it's got like loads of frosting on it, then I'm all for that one. Like, I'll still eat a chocolate one because it's chocolate donut, but it'd always be like second choice. If that makes sense.
I understand.
Yeah.
Have you got a favorite book?
No, I'm so bad. I don't read.
Hey, that's all right. I was the same for like fucking. I mean, what? 2 years ago, I read about 4 books in my life. Like, awful. But I don't know.
I did read one book. I've read more than one book, but this was one that I'd like chosen to read.
Yeah.
And it's called Water for the Elephants. And I actually read it because of how much I liked the film. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a circus themed kind of thing. But I'm more into like podcasts, and like I'd rather be able to see something and listen to it rather than reading words, if that makes sense.
Well, that's just the type of learner you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you got a favorite movie?
10 Things I Hate About You.
It's
proper chick flick. It's got Heath Ledger in it.
Oh yes, yes. That's a throwback. That's an old movie now, right?
Yeah, really old.
Heath Ledger. Yeah. I mean, you can't get over the Joker in Dark Knight. Have you seen the Joker, or Joker as it's called?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I like it because I like. This sounds, I don't know, really weird, but I find it so interesting, like when people do like have the split personality kind of thing. And I feel like he plays that. I feel like he plays that so well. Like, and I'm not really into them kind of films. I'm probably gonna get hate. Is it Marvel stuff like that?
Oh, it's DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC.
Like I'm not like I don't like I'll watch them, but I'm not that they won't be like my first choice to watch.
Yeah.
But I did actually really enjoy that film.
Yeah, like they took a completely different spin on it, didn't they? And I think their depiction of of, like you said, like mental illness and kind of split personality and shit was like fascinating, but fucking hell, it hit home.
Yeah.
I remember watching it in a cinema, like obviously dark cinema. I was like, holy fuck, I'm scared. I'm a grown ass man. I know this is not real. I'm like, shit. Someone give me the popcorn. What you mentioned about podcasts. What podcasts do you listen to?
Weightlifting ones, mainly.
Legend.
Yeah.
I was listening to one before. It's hold on, I can't really play it. It's with Jocko Wilkin and Tom Bailey. I can't say it. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. It sounds weird. Like, even though I'm a weightlifter, I'm not a massive fan of weightlifting, but I like to like know what's going off and like what people are lifting and stuff. And I like watching it. I'm just not a massive fan of it, which sounds weird. I don't know. But I like listen. I'd rather listen and watch stuff than read.
Yeah, for sure. But again, that's just how you learn.
Yeah.
Who's the most influential person you've met? Get into the tough questions.
I don't know. Yeah, this is hard because no one's really like influenced me to do anything, but my family have always like whatever I've chosen to do, they've always been behind me and supporting me to do it. Yeah, that's it really. I
mean, you can say all your family.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like, well, the only reason I got into gymnastics and then my mum got into it as well because she used to be a gymnast when she was little. So she like started coaching and stuff. So that's how I got into that. And then like any sport that I've done, my mum and my stepdad and my grandma, like they've been at like every competition they can get to. Because obviously some have been in different countries. So yeah, I feel like it's more of I've had the influence from the support that I've had rather than from an actual person.
That's nice. That's like obviously homegrown.
Yeah.
Rather than idealizing whoever.
Yeah.
Do you have like a quote or a what do you call it? A mantra that you kind of like live by?
Not really. I'm not really that type of person.
Like
there's quotes that I see, but I'm not one of them that like, oh, everything happens for a reason and stuff like that. Like, I feel like things happen because you're in that place and you're doing that thing for it to happen, if that makes sense. Not it's happening because of something, but it's happening because of what you're doing. I don't know. It's hard to, like, I'm not spiritual or anything.
Like, I don't know, like spirituality is like a big umbrella, right? And it has like many different sort of things under it. But hey, like everyone's got their own opinion.
Yeah, it's nice to think that stuff like that does exist, but I feel like things happen in your life because of the things that you've done.
Yeah.
Not because of it was meant to be. Do you know what I mean?
Universe or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. So how'd you have your coffee? Which is the most important question anyone could ever ask you.
Black with 1 sugar. Well, it's not even like 1 sugar, like, because I like sweet stuff. There were a time where I just drink black coffee, like, and then like I just wanted sugar, so I put sugar in it. But I don't like it with milk. It makes my belly feel weird.
Oh really? Are you lactose intolerant?
No, not at all. Like, I eat loads of cheese.
Nice.
It's just something, I don't know.
Are you like a 1 coffee a day person, or you just like smash it back?
1 or 2 a day. When I did CrossFit, I used to have about 4 a day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go hard in a WOD, you're fucked for the rest of the day.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Like, fuck, it zaps everything that you have for the rest of the day. All right, so last one. Describe yourself in 5 words.
I can't do that.
Typical like interview question. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't even know. This is a question you have to ask someone else.
I mean, everyone gets the question. You can have 3 words, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. I'd say I'm motivated. Fun. I don't know. This is so hard. It's like the hardest question ever.
You got to ask the tough questions, right?
Yeah, but how is this even a tough question? It shouldn't be.
Donuts has got to be in there, right?
Well, a lover of donuts.
Yeah, it's got to be.
That can be all of them.
Yeah. Wait, how many is that? I love of donuts. That's 4. And motivated.
Forever.
Forever. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I've only had Krispy Kreme once, you know.
Yeah, that Krispy Kreme are nice. They're better than Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, I've never tried them.
Than...
I'm not like a huge fan. Like, I'll take it or leave it. But I mean, most of the time I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's just, you know.
I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no. My thing's chocolate milk.
Oh, is it?
I'm obsessed. It's a problem.
Gosh.
So I have to
I'd
put
never
like...
go for... I like flavoured milk, but I'd always be like the strawberry.
Oh, nah, it tastes too much like pharmaceutical to me. Like a bit like man-made.
I don't really drink it.
Although, like, fuck, it's all pharmaceutical, chemical
it probably
bullshit.
is, yeah.
Yeah, like, so's chocolate milk, you know what I mean? Like, I've got to, like, make sure, I don't know, I either work out before it, or I've done a big lift, or fucking whatever.
Give yourself a reason.
Yeah, otherwise I will just, like, sink it all day, every day.
Amazing.
But I'm still gunning for that chocolate milk sponsorship, so keep your ear to the ground, you know what I mean?
I believe in you.
Oh, thank you very much. If people wanted to find you, to pester you with a lot of coaching questions, as you said that you absolutely love it when people do that, where would you send them?
Instagram. So Fraer 55 kg. Fraer's Fraer. My coaching page is FM weightlifting.
FM weightlifting. Awesome. I'm glad you clarified how to spell Fraer, because I actually didn't know how to spell it.
Yeah, no one does.
Like, I mean, it could have been with a Y. It could have been anyway.
Yeah, could have. It's because my grandma was called Ray. RAE. So that's kind of in Fraer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's and the R's at the back, right? Oh no, it's at the front. Never mind. Ignore what I just said.
Yeah, so take the R from the end.
Yeah.
And then take the F from the other side, and it's Ray.
I mean, the spelling's not my thing. No technology, but you know, here we are doing podcasts.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on, mate.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Good luck in training at home.
Thank you.
Any comps that come up?
Yeah. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed for next year. But
is that the plan now? Like, everything's just written off until next year?
Yeah. So the French and German league are starting in January, hopefully, and then the British is in June, and then hopefully European seniors and European under 23s will be sometime in between the rest of the year, maybe. But
I mean, let's just hope this vaccine works, right?
I know. Yeah, definitely.
Well, good luck with them.
Thank you.
We'll be keeping an eye out.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Peace.
See you.